Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. When mentioning how to imagine the process, what happened and what will happen on the day on event during the construction. Okay, in my video, there is something I want to share all the implied in the report. That kind the report was the detail in term the writing process. You are with me, Muhammad Hafiz Aiman bin Ismail. In this video, I will review the report involve the title provide. But before you start, let's start with our smile. Let's go. Okay, before we story about this topic, let's see about this situation video. Let's check it out. Hello boss and our contractor. Okay, I already made proposal our 2 million project in New Beach, and it is very OP and legit our investment and our theory marketing. Big project, you make our investment very good like this.
What happened if the site getting a tsunami?
In this topic, we're going to share about this report. What is Environmental Impact Assessment, aka EIA report? Environmental Impact Assessment is process which ensure all the environmental matter are taken into account quite early in the project planning process itself. It take into consideration not only technical and economic consideration, but also traditional aspect like impact on local people, diversity act. The main benefit of the advantage EIA are first, lower project cost in the long term, increase project acceptance, and improve project design. If you not consider about this thing, what will happen the project in the site could be happen in the site. And EIA should be necessary above the following stage, that is screening, scoping, assessment and evaluation, report in the environmental impact assessment EIS of EIA report, review, decision making, monitoring and compliance, enforcement and environmental audit. First is screening. Screening is determine which project development require full of potential impact assessment study. It will be time consuming of waste of project require of EIA, as some project may not pose environmental threat. Screening process used to be determine whether a proposed project activity require EIA. And second, scoping is identified to potential impact relevant assess based on the district requirement, international convention, expert knowledge to public environment to identify alternative solution, avoid mitigate compensate adverse impact by diversity. For the adverse impact, the EIA is designed to focus the positive and negative effect that occur to the receiving environment. The early identification of impact that may occur the area to lead the reduction of the risk for future adverse environment effect, and permit of the proposal of mitigation guideline measure of avoid. Decision making is the thing of the in EIA part, whether or the approve the project or not. The under what condition, and decision making is the challenge of the making final decision on the implement of the project observed. Decision are taken all the stage using the EIA process of the outcome will be based on the decision. On large scale, project fall under the prejudication and authorities countries of the comparable nation EIA procedures should be flexible to the more ambitious organizing EIA transboundary. Okay, for the last in our content, monitoring. Monitor whether the predict impact of the proposed mitigation measure occur as defined as in the EMP. In legislation in the often demand of for the environmental reporting when treating permit for large EIA. This stage involve the improvement and mitigation measure for the forward EIA. It also involve element for assessing risk and hazard management. Mitigation is the stage of EIA process when the measure identified to avoid, minimize or remediate impact. This measure implied as a process or impact management. Together with necessary adjust to respond foreseen impact. Both elements are integral using the EIA process lead to practical action offset the adverse environment impact of the proposal development. Okay, for the conclusion, we can know we use the EIA process risk, the systematic evaluation of eco-friendly project list, and the permanent EIA is an important tool to ensure the product to plan not to give adverse impact on the environment. The use EIA has developed throughout the world and many different application exist. EIA process to not only prevent costs due environmental aspect but also prevent possible public opinion and protest against a project.